welcome to another edition of Entering the Light Fantastic, a channeled message from Beyond the Veil. In this series, we channel, Mardi, my friend, amazing medium and channels my son Robbie from the other side because he wants to come and share wisdom that will help us here during our lifetime. So Mardi, how are you today?
Pretty good.
Are you ready to do this?
Yeah, I'm all ready.
Okay. And again,
We're ready.
Mardi goes into like a trance in order to prepare herself to channel. So that procedure can take 3 to 5 minutes. So once again, I tell everybody I do edit that out. So Mardi, go ahead, prepare yourself. And usually Robbie speaks when he's ready to communicate. So go ahead, Mardi.
Okay.
Hi, Rob.
Hi.
How are you
Fired
today?
up. Fired up. Ready to go.
Ready to go?
Yep.
So where are you talking to us from today?
We decided to meet in that same place that we just had the big meeting with Jesus last week. Yeah, we're in that same room.
So is that a church that you're in, like a crystal church?
Kind of. Yeah, it's a room. It's a room off of the church. Yeah.
Okay.
The meeting room at the church type of thing. Yep.
And it has the big fountain and the white marble and gorgeous. Oh, you said we.
Yeah.
Who's there with you?
Me and Mardi.
Oh. Yeah.
That one chick, you've met her.
Okay, so just you two today.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know you usually come in with something that you want to talk about, but let me ask a couple of my questions and then we'll see where this goes, okay?
No, that's fine because we were just talking, and I don't know. There's so many that we can go, and there's so many things that we could talk about. So I'm open. Ask away.
Okay. Well, I want to talk about when souls first cross, when we first pass, and we shed our bodies and we go to the other side. Is there a particular place where all souls enter your dimension? Have you seen other souls come in?
No, I mean, yes, I have seen other souls arriving, just getting here, like that. But no, there's not a place. There's portals. There are portals all over the world and all over the universe, all over the galaxy. There's portals like that you can hop through and hop into another dimension, hop over to heaven. So no, there's not just one place. That would be like a huge traffic jam, right? It doesn't even make. I mean, it would make more sense maybe if everyone had a checkpoint, but no, it's random places all around. I see people walking down the street, and it's like when they come, they've got like a little, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a little sparkle on them that's like, oh, that's a new person. Don't mess with them.
So
Kind of like that.
So these new people, when they come over, they have to be greeted by someone and oriented, right?
Oh yeah.
So do the people that need to be there to greet them, somehow they're alerted that, hey, I need to be over at that doorway, or I need to be over at that doorway to help with this person?
Yeah, everyone knows because I think we talked about it before. We're all connected by a silver cord, especially people in your soul group or your soul family, or yeah, you're connected forever by love. And so, even people who come through who maybe didn't have anyone that they remember in spirit, there are souls, and they're there's always someone. You always have somebody to meet you and greet you and bring you over. Yeah, no question. Everyone gets that.
So if it's not, it could be ancestors that greet you
Yeah,
that you don't know about. But what about the role of angels and our guides when we first cross over? Are they waiting there for us? Did you
yeah.
see yours?
Well, it was Jesus for me. Yeah, it was Jesus. And then all my male ancestors, a lot of men. Yeah.
Where were the women?
I don't know, I can't say, but it was the men. And we had a party. I mean, I came to the party. All I know was, I heard Jesus, and that's how I got here. And I don't remember a lot about it now. I remember floating up, and I remember trying to, visit you and visit people on earth because I was like, no, I don't want to be dead. I did not want to be dead. And it was trippy because I'm like, oh, clearly I'm left my body and I'm floating. And so, yeah, it can be a little scary because if I think more for people who weren't expecting it, and that was like myself, I was not. So that was the little scary part. But no, people who are going to have a good long life and die a more normal death, um, it's not going to be a problem. Yeah, there's always someone here, and you'll see it real gradually, but for me it happened so quickly and fast, and I really wasn't expecting it. And for that, that is when the angels and your guides play a big part, a much bigger part, because they've got to be, like, oh crap, this guy just died, and we weren't quite expecting that either. Because honestly, they too, because we can surprise them with our free will.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know how it all works. I know that the good thing is there's always somebody for everybody, and nobody gets left behind. There's no fear that way of dying. You're not going to be left behind. Um, but yeah, you gotta surrender. Surrendering, I think, is a big part of the process. You
When
know, go ahead.
I'm sorry, when you got over there, Robbie, did you have to go through any kind of healing because you went so young, or is there a room? Is there a process that you had to go through? Do you remember?
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe that's what I was going through. I don't really remember that part. I remember it was like a what's the word? Disorienting, to be first I'm here, now I'm over here. What is this place? Figuring out that I really did die, uh, really not pleasant. I was trying to fight against it a bit, um, but right away, yeah, I did have an angel there. I did have an angel, and she oriented me. This group of a lot of people, right? And I guess there were I'd forgotten. I took a lot of talking to. I know for me because I'm really stubborn, and I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it. So I was thinking, I don't think I'm dead. I don't think that can be. And I know I fought that a little bit back and forth. So now that you mention it, group, I'm remembering that there was a group of angels and Jesus. It was just a lot of discussion. It was a lot of debriefing. Like,
Mm.
yes, you are. This is how it happened. no, you're not going back. You're for sure. And I remember I had to be sort of talked into it, like, I'm not be like, oh, okay, whatever you say. I'm more like, what? No, can't be. I don't believe it. Let me go back and look. And I remember there was some back, oh, I remember hearing someone say, he's stubborn. He has to see for himself. And um, it's funny. I think that was a big part of that, a few days of human time of me arguing. I'm
Mm,
feeling like we argued quite a bit because I was, trying to be logical and like, this doesn't even make sense. And, I have all these things going on and I can't be over here. And maybe it only took, I don't know, because to me now I barely remember that. I don't even remember it as a part of my process of dying. It's
mm,
like I'm over here, I floated up, I heard Jesus's voice, that I remember. That's what helped me to follow along. But I see like a tunnel, like I know I was in a dark tunnel with the end. There for sure was that classic tunnel. And I just kind of didn't believe it. I'm like, well, I'll go to the end of this and see what's up there because, it's interesting. You got to go see. And yeah, a lot of discussions with this group of, yes, you're really dead. Yes, you're really here. And then from there, it was like you get just sort of passed on to, and now it's time to go do your life review. So
mhm.
you're pretty much swept into a process right away.
Okay.
But yes, you're right. The people that are very sick and maybe not so right in the head, you
Mhm,
know, really messed up, like maybe a lot of dementia or things of that sort when they pass. Um, yeah, there's a cocooning place, and it's almost like you're going to be parked in a cloud bank. I mean, the body goes into, it looks like you're being put into a healing chamber, cloud bank.
mhm,
And yeah, it's quite amazing. And then that's I don't know who decides that. It must be your own guide and or God, a panel. I don't know, but there's a group of people. I think it's probably the same group of people. Did seem to be angels, because I just remember wings, women with wings for sure, angels that have the discussion and decide where you're going to go.
mm,
Does this person need to go be healed? The very sick, very dark folks who are really distorted in their thinking,
mhm.
it's more like how you're thinking is your thinking distorted? Is your thinking, not coming from a good place? Um, do you need to have some correction, some basic healing and correction before you go on into the rest of heaven? Yeah.
So those souls that either weren't really good people or very ill people, they're kept separate in a separate part through some kind of a healing
Yeah.
process where they're allowed to mingle with everybody else.
No, no, they're not mingling, no.
Yeah,
They're, like, parked in a cloud bank, the really severe ones,
right.
literally, in their own little cocoon being healed, and, uh, what I've seen is, I think we talked about this before, but, I don't know, there's no hell per se, but for say the people who've done who violated others' free will on the people who have crossed that line,
Mhm,
um, it's decided between them and their well, they don't have much of a say, let's be real. Hell over here is the absence of free will. So um, they're not going to have any more free will. They've violated that in their time on earth. Therefore, when they come over, they're going to be always attended by two beings. And the two beings can be, a guide and an angel, or can be ancestors of theirs who have proven themselves that they're trustworthy.
mhm.
Um, but you have to those souls are like on a low level and it's almost like and people can be like demoted, down to a I hate air quotes, sorry I'm doing that. Uh you can be demoted like out of a level. Yeah, for the violation of free will. So criminals, people who have really violated free will hard in the earthly world, when they come over here, um, yeah, they're never going to be alone.
So
And you can imagine that's punishment enough, right? That's you know, for someone who's used to being on their own and who they are. Um,
yeah,
Always having like your mom with you or your uncle or whoever, always having someone to accompany you. That's got to be a challenge to get used to. Yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know those souls because you see them with, they're always with two people. And but honestly, I don't see them much because you also tend to hang out over here um, on your own level with people who are pretty much at your level or above. Not You're not going to go.
So
I wouldn't go choose
you
to
don't see
visit
those
those levels.
people cross into your dimension, not dimension, but
No,
where you're
not
at.
really.
Okay,
No, it's
okay.
not. And this sounds like arrogant or something. Like I'm all, oh, I'm better than them. That's not what I mean. It's like it's just different. And you know, there is a bottom line though. There is a bottom line in the universe, and it's the basic moral code is violating others' free will.
Yeah.
So if you have done that, uh,
Well,
that's crime.
I'm sure there's many levels below you, just as there's many levels above you. So it just depends,
Yeah.
right? I'm not saying you're at the top, right?
No.
So at the level that you're at, I know you talk about people walking down a street or congregating in the church that you attend or, the amphitheater that you go or the concerts that you give.
Yeah.
But do you ever see the angels walking around? Do you have any interaction with angels? Do you
I've
ever?
seen. No, not really. I mean, me myself. Uh, yeah, I guess I know some angels. I know them, but no, I'm not hanging out on a daily basis. That's not. No.
But you don't see them amongst where you are often? Or are they there? You just don't interact?
No, I see them. I don't interact. It's kind of like, you know, walking down a busy street in America, you see all kinds of people in the most public of places. And there are places over here where we sort of intersect with people of all levels may come together in certain public places.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm just reminded of there's one street that I go down that I like to walk. It's almost like a really busy street in Paris or in New York or um, not LA, but like a big city like that. Beautiful streets and sidewalks, and it sort of is the main central place where, well, you do go to the what's it called? The hall of it's like an archival place, like archives, like
Oh,
where you do your life review.
The
Yeah,
Akashic.
the Akashic records, but we call it something else,
Oh,
and I can't remember it. Hall of
all of records?
Maybe that's just the Hall of Records, but that's where everybody does go there. And so that's a place where we all might intersect. Yeah, you can see all types there.
Oh,
And, I like all types of people. It's interesting to me.
yeah.
Sometimes you just sit and watch. It's interesting.
So we all have one or many guides that are that watch over us while we walk the earthly plane. Do you do you know your guides? Are they still with you? Have they moved on because you're there now? Um, was Jesus a guide of yours? Is that why he was there to greet you, or is he just do that? I mean, does every soul get to see Jesus if they want to?
Well,
or Buddha, or, whoever.
Yes, Jesus is a guide of mine for sure. Yes. And I can't say I really knew that in life, but I knew it when I passed. So that's interesting to me. It's like instantly I had soul knowledge of, oh yeah, I should go find that guy, but he already found me. So yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah, and I still have an we share a guide. We share that Diana slash Leonini. So I think you're comfortable to talk about that now,
Yeah.
since you're working on some really cool stuff, Mom. Got to hand it to you. I really like what you two are doing. But yeah, I already knew about that. I knew that was coming. I got to say, I did know. Couldn't say anything.
Okay. Well, for the audience, thank you for the plug, son. But
Ah,
I started channeling my higher guide, whose name is Leonini, and Mardi also shares the guide, and that's probably why we work together with Robbie. But to Marty, the guide is known as Diana. But anyway, I channel messages now from Leonini, and I do put them on my website and my Facebook page, the Orb Connection. They're pretty, they're brief messages that are meant to help us in our daily lives. And I really enjoy doing that. Plus, she has a sense of humor, so I appreciate it. So when you and I gotta stop saying when you go to the Hall of Records, you've told me before that you've been there and you really enjoy looking up your lives. Have you been there recently? Have you explored a little more that you can share with us?
I was there recently, yes. Um,
You're being cryptic.
well, you know, it's yeah, it's interesting to me. It's um I do like to do that because I like history. I'm interested in history, and what I can share is that um, there's some really interesting time periods that in our world history that I was a part of, that we've all been a part of, right? I mean, everyone can do this when you come to the other side. You can, and you don't have to come to the other side to do it either. By the way, you can do past life readings in your human body, but that's another subject. Um, you know, that's what I like to do is find like a big world event, wars and things like. I mean, I'm interested in. I mean, maybe a lot of guys are. I don't know, like battle history and um, things like that. I can tell you that you know, that I'm thinking of right now was I'll share it. I'll share it since you asked. Fighting in World War II as a Russian.
You were.
Yes, and
Wow.
that really surprised me, and I would not have expected that. I didn't feel like. I'm sure I wasn't aware of it in life. I'm sure of it. Very surprising. That was one of the most surprising past connections that I've had. Pretty recent, you know. I found that very interesting. I can't say a lot more. I'm not supposed to say a lot more, and I don't really know why. I don't know why.
Okay.
Well, I guess it might impact on other people's free will. So, by me talking about things that happened in my past, I'm connected with you, Mom, of course, and sister, and all my friends. I guess I can say this. This will be fun to say, for my friends that are what if they're watching. I don't know if my friends really watch, but what's cool about that when you come over here is you look up your past lives, and just for the heck of it, for the fun of it, and you'll find the most amazing things. Like I'll be damned. This guy was an old buddy of mine in that lifetime. You can see um, your old friends and all your soul family, people that you interacted with maybe on Earth. Um, you've known them for, chances are, hundreds of years and maybe hundreds of lifetimes. And
Right.
that made me feel, knowing that made me feel really like a sense of security. Like, you just realize it's humbling, and it makes you feel you're some part of something really big.
Hmm.
Feel
Well, and
like
it
you're
kind of,
part of a whole.
I think it explains too when we meet those people that we feel an instant connection with here on Earth. It probably explains why you feel that instant connection because you have known
Yeah.
that person in many other lifetimes in different roles and different capacities. So
Yep.
my dogs just barged in here. They wanted to see what
I
was going on.
see. Hello.
Hello. Um, so Robbie, is there, do you go to classes or does someone talk to you before we have these sessions to give you a direction of where they want these talks to go, or rules and regulations that you can, because you stop yourself a lot and you say, well, I think I can tell you that. Who's
Oh, yeah, yeah.
here that you can't say that or you can say that?
Yeah. We're talking about these classes for sure. And that I can totally share that with you. We're just not supposed to have so much influence on, this conduit between us. You're talking to me in heaven in the other side. I mean, there's a point to you guys being on Earth of learning your lessons, not having interference from extra dimensional beings or people in on the other side. You should have no interference
Right.
from us. But positive messages and educational messages are fine. That's okay. Um, I feel like um, the people, well, not me, I don't feel this. The project that I'm working on, okay, with my group of guides, of yes, Jesus is one of them, probably the highest level one. Um, he's not involved in the day to day on this project, okay? um, I'm aware that this sounds strange because, I really wasn't Jesus-y in life. I just wasn't. But and open-minded and always curious. So when I come over here, I find out, yeah, my soul always been and will maybe always be involved in this sort of an educational program. I guess education is the best way to put it.
Okay.
Education of souls. And no, Jesus isn't consulting on a daily basis, but my spirit guide, Diana, is. She's more the hands on teacher and says, okay, when you talk, you can say this, you can't say that, you could say this, you can't say that. Just be mindful of the influence because listen, the over here on this side, I say the other side, but on my side, the fear on my side is we have too much influence. And this doesn't need to age religion thing. It's not that. It's just, hey, you have a friend over here. You know, I'm your son. I have a connection to my family there. I miss you guys. This is one way I can stay in touch, but also at the same time, I can educate you. And the reason why this time now, sorry, I know I'm being long winded. The reason why it's okay now, whereas maybe in the past this wasn't happening as much, um, this is a difficult time for Earth. And this is a time when everyone on Earth is needing extra help and needing extra faith. So yeah, it's that's why this project is happening the way it is, and why we're working on it in this manner, and why I can share certain things now.
Okay. Well, I for one am grateful. I think knowledge is power, and the knowledge of what's available to us with regards to our guides, to our loved ones, to our teachers and masters, that they're rooting for us is very comforting.
Yep.
For me, I think if more people understood that and trusted that spirit's there for our back, and to turn our cares and worries over to that, and it frees our mind. It takes the stress off. Um, and
Well,
I'm
it's faith. It's faith. And now that we talk about it, comforting is the word that I was trying to think of. Comforting. Um, Take comfort in knowing that your friends and family and loved ones are always with you. We're always watching over you. But there's a specific thing that Jesus, my guide here, has wanted me to talk about, and this is a perfect opening. It was supposed to come up naturally and not have me bring it up, and so good job, Mom. Uh,
amazing how that
this
happens.
is how this is how this is how it is. We're at a point in Earth's history where, the old ways, kind of like my generation on Earth, people in their 20s and 30s, and the younger people now are not thrilled with organized religion. Organized religion is taking a nosedive, and but that's it's too bad in some ways, but it's got to go in other ways because humans have abused their power with organized religion, and they've made it so that my generation is like, why do we want to do that? It's too scary. It's like you're authorizing control of your life to some human organization that has proven that they can be abusive of power. So I think rightfully so, this time is shifting. We're shifting to a new kind of faith, faith in spirit, faith in our ancestors, faith in our loved ones, faith in Jesus and God, uh, faith in Buddha, faith in Muhammad, all the prophets and ancestors, understanding that we all are one and we're all part of the whole. And each one of us has has a responsibility to look out for your brothers and your sisters. That's the new religion that's happening now. Yeah, that's what I'm a part of. That's what I'm a part of. And I
It's
think this little mother and stational chats, um, are part of that.
I think it's awakening our own trust in our own connection, direct connection to your side and to the Great Spirit, and that we are all here to love one another. That's what it all boils down to, right? It's the
Yep.
power of love, compassion, caring.
Yes.
And I think some of the religions leave us maybe lacking a little bit in that, because they, at least from my experience, sometimes they have an us and them attitude. But we're all
Yes.
connected. We're all part of that great spark. And
Yes.
so I feel the change shifting here too. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Cool.
that was heavy. So we're kind of at the end of our time already. Wow, that went by fast. Is there anything that you would like to add, or shall we leave it for next time?
No, that was really good, Mom. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, I always
Yeah.
appreciate you taking the time, and I thank Spirit and Jesus for allowing you to do this work with us, Robbie. I'm honored. I appreciate greatly the information that you bestow upon us, and I thank you for your love.
Uh, Thank you too. Love you.
Okay, I'll talk
Thank
to you
you.
next time. So let my
All
friend
right.
know.
Okay. Oh, that was interesting.
Welcome back.
I'm back.
um, just for the audience's an addition or information or insight is what I want to say as to what you are experiencing. Robbie told us that you were meeting in this beautiful room offset with this huge fountain, and he was describing it. And he said, just the two of you are there. For the audience, can you explain what you see, where you are, and where you were today as all this was transpiring?
Yeah, um, it's really beautiful room, and it's like a rosy marble. It's marble, um, circular, or like no, I'm sorry, it's more like a octagon,
Okay.
and it's huge, huge. I mean, I don't know measurements. It's this enormous fountain with a bench all around, and I just go and sit on the bench while he's talking. But it's channeling to me is I go and meet him. I always have to go find Robbie. I don't know where he's going to be, and it's funny. We sort of add on new places, you know, where he's met me, and yeah, I just started there because I'm like, well, that's left, so maybe he'll be here again, and he was. And I said, is this where we're going to meet? And he goes, yeah, let's do it here. So yeah, we always greet each other and you know, hug each other and do a lot of high fives and
So, so for us, we are watching Earth Marty
yeah.
talk like Robbie here on the video, but where your consciousness is you are Marty sitting on the bench of the fountain
Yeah,
watching Robbie talk,
you
right?
through me, yeah. And to
Wow.
me, yeah, yeah. To me, he doesn't look like at first you can see some of our earlier videos, and I hadn't channeled a lot. I had channeled some over the years, but it wasn't my main thing.
Yeah,
And you could tell that in our early videos. So it's become much more easy and smooth.
yeah.
He's the one who suggested, because I used to let him full on into my body, his spirit come down into my body. And now we don't do that at all. It's more like he said, how about we just do it like a light overlay, like a lacy tablecloth type of
Uh-huh.
thing.
Yeah.
But I sometimes now he'll just go and throw the tablecloth on me. So I'm seeing like a lacy tablecloth come on me,
Uh-huh.
and I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll just go here in my tablecloth.
Wow.
And then he's talking. Yeah, he does the talking, and I try to hold my consciousness way. Yes, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing me sit off to the side.
Hmm.
Yeah,
But when Robbie's talking to me, he's looking at me through your eyes. Do you see what
right.
he's seeing, or are you
I
just concentrating on the fountain?
That's interesting. I try to concentrate and see the fountain, but I that's what's hard about to me, that's what's hard when you open your eyes, when you channel, because yes, I do. It's like I'm going like this, like, don't look, don't look. My consciousness on the inside is like, don't look at Nancy, don't, because you'll ruin it, because it can draw my own consciousness back in.
Ah, okay.
He's using my senses, and he's looking at you through my eyes. And I don't know if we talked about this before on air, but on air, like we're on the radio, whatever.
On tape.
It's yeah, it's it's your eyes are huge. He's seeing through his eyes. I've only looked a few times, and it's your eyes are huge and you're glowing, and he's seeing mom's soul, you
Wow.
know. And
Wow.
that's really neat. That really moved me. So it's like I get little secret glimpses of what it's like to be a spirit.
Wow.
Yeah.
and to have the spirit vision and be able to see everybody's energetic bodies, their soul bodies.
Yes.
Wow.
And I do think it helps because your son and I share a sense of humor. We share a lot of ways of thinking about things.
Hmm.
I mean, he's his own dude, but we're a lot alike, and so it's not hard for me to let him into me and use me that way.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Yeah. Fascinating process.
It
Fascinating.
is.
Well, I thank you again, Marty, for your generous time and giving of your amazing abilities. And if anybody wants to contact Marty for a reading, which I highly recommend, her contact information is at the end, as well as mine, for my book and my website. So until next time, see you then. Bye.
Okay. Bye.